Hi, I have quasi-video request. Apparently my original video from last year, 5 basic tips for linebackers, which was really off the top of my head. I had no script for that. Yeah, it's gotten popular. My name's Dashric. Theo, technically my given name's Theo. My channel name's Dashric. I am a middle linebacker for the Hilversum Hurricanes. That's here in the Netherlands, Europe. Not gonna do what I did in my previous video. If you want to watch the basic tips, that's there. This is gonna be slightly more basic tips, but someone wants to know about like strength training and because they've gained a bit of weight during Corona. Get it. So this person here says, I'm new to football, going 9th grade, and I want to play linebacker. What's plays and stuff I have to learn? I'll take any advice. Well, what you have to learn is what your playbook is. So I'm just going to sort of ramble here. I don't know how many numbers of things I do, I'm going to say, but the things that are like the next level of stuff you should probably know so you don't, as the one comment said, don't look dumb AF. Yeah. First of all, for strength training, you're going to just want whole body strength training. You don't want anything really specific because then you focus too much and it just, yeah, you just want to do whole body because linebacker is a very physically aggressive but cardio demanding thing. Like when you're a lineman, you just have to get in someone's face and overpower them. As a linebacker, you might need to chase down a receiver, so you need to work on your cardio. So jog, bike, swim, whatever your current rules are allowing in your area, in your country. Both of you said 9th grade, so I'm taking a guess the United States. Someone says 9th grade, junior year. Okay, so that's definitely. What I do is I work on resistance squats, which that's what I call them. I don't know what their actual name is, but I covered it with Willie a long time ago about stuff, and he says, yeah, that's actually a really good thing to do. Is you go in for squat. Sorry, new tat. Trying to move it but not move it. So when you go in for the squat and you go down, slower down than you go up. It helps work on your explosiveness. And so usually there's a 3, 2, 1, boom. 3, 2, 1, boom. That sort of thing. And it works really well because when you're going up against a lineman and they're pushing on you with like all their weight, there's a couple tricks, and we can go over that one later on when you feel all their weight on you, but they're pushing on you and they're big guys. And so you gotta not like have your butt fail and you go, ah! Because once a lineman's on top of you, you are literally pancaked and that's a stat for them. Maybe not be a stat in an actual game on the film, but yeah, there's the pancake platoon for a reason. And you don't want to be a pancake. Anyways, and so you got that, but then you also want to work on getting up in their face. So as you see the muscles that are engaged right here, you need to work on triceps so that, you have this motion to push your arm out, because that's what that muscle does. And then you need to work on the tricep, which helps raise your arm up, and then you're always going to need your pec because helps bring the chest in, and it's the main arm. It's a main strength thing for the chest. And then just work everything else, because if you're focused too much, just whole body strength training. Don't like, oh well, I need to work on my wrists. And then the guys that work behind them, and they take the little bar, and then they just like do the little. Do your squats, do your glute bridge, do maybe the little kick your leg up for the quads, and then do your bench, do the shoulders, also do an incline. Willie had one at his high school and a couple while he was in college, and he called them jamming machines. Not sure if you guys will have those. But if you do have a gym, you probably have an incline press. If not, you can still use dumbbells for that one. In terms of stuff that's not, like, you will go through all the various drills at your high school to help with like hip mobility, but things to work on until then, do a bit of duck walking, which is basically get down as low as you can squat and then try to keep your butt really low and just put your arms behind you and then just get down and walk. Like you're doing this sort of walking. It burns the crap out of your quads. And you go about 5 yards forwards, 5 yards left, 5 yards backwards, constantly facing the same direction, and then 5 yards to the right. And then maybe do that twice and then flip the direction. On my team, we just start at the other back corner and then go forward, right, back, left. But I don't know. It's just, it helps mirror the drill, I guess. It's a bit weird, and even the guys have kind of brought up, I don't know why we do it this way. Why don't we just like reverse around the circle? But it really doesn't matter because you're going forwards and backwards and left and right in the same drill. There's a method to Ed's madness. So we just sort of go, well, we just do it. Something else to make yourself not look so dumb AF. Understand that there's a difference between a middle linebacker and an outside linebacker. Outside linebackers, by and large, are going to be physical yet runnable. Like they can chase down receivers. At 188 pounds, I do believe you might be useful. I don't know what the general size of your high school team is, but 188 pounds here. Convert 188 pounds to kilograms. Yeah, you'd be an outside linebacker. Yeah. So if you can get up closer to 195, 200, you may be doing inside linebacker, but really just know the difference between the two. Wikipedia article I'll link below. It'll bring up everything about linebackers. But the outside linebackers, like in a 4-3, middle linebacker, outside linebackers. Like that's that, but they have different coverages. And depending on your school's defensive scheme, you have to know both. You need to know all the coverages for both because one, if all of y'all linebackers are roughly the same size, you're going to be moved around in between positions. Some people are going to be a bit more aggressive for a middle inside linebacker than an outside linebacker, but you may need to go in because injuries do happen or whatever. You may need to fill in for a drill. So know what each of those do. Plus, hypothetical situation. You have a receivers that are, you got the 3 linebackers and the receivers are out. Well, the will needs to roll out and split the difference between the tackle and the slot receiver. So he's rolled out a little bit more. You, as the middle linebacker, need to slide over and take care of his gap. And the Sam linebacker rolls over and becomes the middle linebacker and takes care of the middle linebacker's gap. Because the strong safety is most likely rolled down a little bit and will take care of the strong line. It's confusing, but that's how you need to know all of it. If there's interest for me, I will be getting a whiteboard pretty soon. I don't know how to get it delivered or how fast I can get it delivered. If you're wanting to know basics, I can get a whiteboard and I can make a video for that stuff in the other bedroom. Right now it's really noisy out in the main room, so I'm in here in the bedroom again. Anyways, so no, you don't need to know blitz packages because again, that's akin to your school and coach's defensive scheme. But understand, fingers are fingers. This is the center. These are the guards. These are the tackles. In my previous video, I says your read should be on the guards, not the tackles, and certainly not the center. And there's a joke in there. Why? But so let's assume that as defense, we have strong side. So this would be the strong A, the strong B, and the strong C gap. And then this would be weak A, weak B, weak C. If there's a tight end that sits out here, then you have a strong C and a strong D. So which would make sense. The tight end. Then there's that read list. There is also the idea of your checks for which strong side it should be. Now, there is a rule of thumb behind that one, but I don't, as I've understood, it's which side is the tight end on? If there's no tight end, where are there the most receivers? If the receivers are evenly split, which side is the running back on if the running back is on a side? If he's directly behind the quarterback, which hand is the quarterback likely to throw on? Typically, they're right-handed, so you would pick strong left. Or if you happen to know where their dominant receiver is, that's what you would call. But you're not, yeah. So once you realize that one, and then your coach will hopefully teach you how to be quicker in the mind, because you have to instinctualize this stuff. You can't go out on the field asking questions. As a freshman going into high school, sure, ask your questions. Also, ask questions. Don't be all macho and, oh, I got this. No, you don't. You're going into football, you need to learn. You're asking me questions, thank you, but also ask your coaches. Because if you are asking your coaches, in theory, your coaches are going to notice, hey, this person realizes they don't know a lot and want the information. And if anything, even if it doesn't sound right for something I say or something you see on the NFL, but your coach says to do it, much like in many other hierarchies, once you're supreme, your superior, tells you to do it, you do it. And then if they get mad at you, that's their fault, if you did it according to plan. But yeah. So I'm just giving tips on how to do stuff for linebacker. Again, if there's interest for a whiteboard, I'll try to expedite one here, and I'll set it up, and we will figure out how to do that. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.